The final days has taken much from you all. I can but imagine the pain you feel in the face of such immeasurable loss. And though the final days have been averted, its effect yet linger, and the blasphemy has been born of your suffering. Decisive action must be taken before further harm is wrought upon you. To overcome such adversity is too great a task for any one person, but as a people united, there may yet be hope for the morrow. While it is not our place to decide how you will move forward, we would offer a small measure of guidance. This must feel so weird for Gallians. Like pureblood Gallians who have been told for decades, like all of their lives, probably, that they were the true rulers of everything and everyone else here should be under their rule? Oh, it's such a turn of events. We were told a number of former members of your Senate yet to remain among you. Would you be amenable to an interim government led by these individuals until such time as Garlemald can be rebuilt? Rebuilt Garlemald? Is such a thing truly possible? Huh. Even if we do cobble together some governing council, they won't be making anything of that pile of ash we dare call Garlemald. There's no going back to Lucas and Mona's either. Wreck and ruin. Those are our only options. I realize to rebuild Garlemald is a seemingly impossible task, but you needn't undertake it alone. My children are working with members of the 1st Legion as we speak to begin an organized relief effort. There are others from the provinces no doubt willing to lend their expertise. You need but ask, not as would-be conquerors, but as brothers and sisters of the Star, and others will heed your call. If you should still see no merit in the rebuilding of Garlemald, then I would instead offer you a residency in Sharlayan. I promise you will be welcomed with open arms. Sharlayan? So now you'd expect us to go and lick boots in some country we've never even heard of? My apologies if I appeared overly forward in my proposition. Considering our strict policies of non-intervention until but recently, it is not surprising that you are unfamiliar with my homeland. It is an island nation to the north, home to myriad peoples, which is why I believe it would not prove difficult to accommodate you and yours. To be clear, you would not be migrating to Sharlayan to live in servitude. You have my word that each and every one of you would be guaranteed citizenship upon entry. And why exactly would you go to such lengths for us? For the conquerors you barely know? Sharlayan was long aware of the coming doom that would be the final days, and so we were preparing to evacuate the Star, taking as many people and resources as our stores would allow. Initially, it was our intent to save the people of Garlemald as well, but we had not forgotten your transgressions invading Alamigo, your rejection of our entreaties for peace. After a great deal of deliberation, it was decided that we would forego an invitation to Garlemald, a determination made with great trepidation. We had convinced ourselves it was ultimately for the greater good, though I can think of at least one individual who would continue to protest. To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. Now that sounds familiar. Sage counsel I brazenly cast aside when confronted with the final days in earnest. But Laverne here and his companions refused to forsake those who were otherwise unwilling to save. With great risk to themselves, they achieved the impossible and opened my eyes to the error of the forum's decision. If all other roads lead to ruin regardless, perhaps we should at least consider it. Then it would be my pleasure to invite you all to Camp Broken Glass, where you shall have warm food and beds both. Admiral Whirlwhip and I shall speak with Maxima and the others, and consider how best to assist the Garleans moving forward. Should we broach the subject of the blasphemy, however, we will not hesitate to call upon you. I have to choose. It doesn't really matter. Let's check strength. Misguided few. With the Garleans' hearts at ease, the likelihood of others turning has greatly diminished. That said, it is no cause for us to grow complacent. We must needs find a way to overcome the blasphemy's protective warding. If I understand correctly, a blasphemy's behavior is oftentimes influenced by the memories and emotions of their originator. In which case, it would be prudent to learn more of the man who birthed this monstrosity. How fortuitous, then, that a number of soldiers from the 3rd Legion are in our custody. For a mercy, their tempering was not so severe as to be beyond our ability to heal them. They are presently being treated at Camp Broken Glass. Perhaps the camp's intelligence officer can tell us who among them knows aught of Nerva's whereabouts. That would be nice indeed. So let us just teleport it there because it is faster. I see. Perhaps I'd best if you speak with Virgilia, Legatus of the 3rd Legion. She's still on the mend, but the Chirurgians aren't like to oppose a brief conversation. If you'd wait here a moment. Hey, wait here. Okay. Leaves. Oh, wow. She's still suffering quite deal. Jeez. Eorzea's champion, I presume, and one of his cohorts. What business have you with me? Isabard is faced with imminent crisis, and we believe the knowledge you bear may be key in stopping it. Thus do we believe the blasphemy to be Nerva, whose whereabouts in the wake of Garlemald's fall, or lack thereof, give credence to our theory. Lord Nerva? From what we have pieced together thus far, you were one of the last to see him alive. Please, will you not share with us what you know? Very well, though I suspect that meager knowledge I possess shall avail you not. I'll take whatever you have. I last spoke with Lord Nerva shortly after the warring with the First Legion began. Cloistered within the tower levels of the Simulacrum Imperialis, he spent the better part of the day listening attentively to the radio. He seemed hopeful, or perhaps desperate, for news that the tide might turn in our favor. The next day, I left for the front line. It was there that I heard a terrible noise, which I assumed came from the Tower of Babel. Then darkness took me, and I remember not after that. I was told the radios protected those close to them from the effects of the tower, in which case Lord Nerva would have remained unaffected. But he has ever been devoted to Garlemald, for glory everlasting, he would say. To watch the empire he loved so dearly crumble, I can think of no one who would be more stricken by the sight. It would seem we were right to assume what became of Nerva. And it does not surprise me the beast would choose to make its nest within the Tower of Babel. It stands atop the remains of the Imperial Palace and the throne he revered so highly. But the Empire is no more, and Lord Nerva apparently is no longer the man he once was. He deserves to be laid to rest, together with his dream of glory. We will fell the beast, you have my word. Hello. Apologies for the interruption. Kanisena has arrived, and we are ready to depart. It's good to see you, Laverne, Master Fortunate. I have spoken with Lawrence of the Ward, protecting the blasphemy, and I am quite confident some manner of ether-based magic bars our path. Which would be quite impossible for both a blasphemy and a pure-blood Guardian. If I may be so bold, Elder Cetia, we reached the same conclusion initially, but that simply is not possible. These creatures born of the final days are devoid of ether. As such, they would be unable to produce such a barrier in a manner to which we are accustomed. Do you suppose it possible they manipulated Dynamis to achieve a similar effect? I too thought to dismiss the notion of a barrier fueled by ether, that is, until I stepped foot here in Garlemald. Even now I can sense streams of ether flowing towards the tower. Oh. Its purpose was, after all, to harvest reserves of energy sufficient to reach the moon. Even if one was incapable of manipulating ether directly, it stands to reason control of the tower would alleviate such a need. This merely conjecture, of course. I cannot say for certain until I have examined the currents with my own eyes. Might I ask you to accompany us? I would join you as well, if I may. My injuries would keep me from being of use in battle, but my knowledge of the land should serve just as well as my blades. I would not be opposed to your company, but it's not my decision to make. She may go, so long as she remains under watch by you and the others. Very good. Might I suggest to begin with Regio Urbanissima. I sense the greatest confluence of ether in that vicinity. You again. We are being watched. I'm also a little bit curious because we saw a couple of like overhead shots of what I presume is where the Tower of Babel is supposed to be. And it didn't show. Like, is it just gone because it's foggy, or is there a little bug in the game or something? Let me fly over here real quick and see what became of the tower. Because we should be able to see the tower from here. And the tower should still be here as well. Didn't get rid of it. Should still stand. Yeah, this is weird. Okay, so, while I was trying to figure something out, or figure out where the Tower of Babel went, the weather has changed from foggy to clouds, and it's back. So it's literally just a weather problem, and the cutscene we just saw is a little bit spoiled by the fact that if it is foggy in Garlemald, you can't see the Tower of Babel because it's behind the fog. So if I go back here to all the way to the north, you will see that the Tower of Babel is outside of the map. And the mount can fly no higher, and it will be blocked here in a second. Yes. So I can only fly up until here. And while we could see all of these buildings earlier, we couldn't really see much here because it was all foggy. And yeah, the Tower of Babel is back. And the mystery has been solved. So much for that. Alright. Just wanted to clear that up because I was very much confused. And I wish that cutscene would make sure that it was not foggy and I could actually see what was going on, but oh well. Oh well. Anyway, let's head back down here and have a little bit of a discussion with everyone before we talk to Kane. Gilly. Well, I'll never understand how anyone could grow accustomed to such cold climes. I heard word that Alden should be arriving before long. I can already picture him knocking his knees, muttering under his breath about the cold. Oh, I was like, who's Alden? Yeah. General Alden. First name... Rauban. Jesus, that took me a moment. Part of me does not wish to believe this blasphemy is Lord Nerva, that I failed to protect him. Yet... I'm sure it's just my imagination, but I can't help but feel we are being watched again. It would seem I underestimated the resourcefulness of our adversary. As I thought, the ether stream here flows toward the tower, as do all others in this region, no doubt. There's the tower. This convergence first began when the Telophoroi erected spires in all corners of Eorzea to fuel the Tower of Babel. But once destroyed, the divergence of ether should have ceased. Alright, whoever you are, if you've business with us, quit your skulking about in the shadow and speak your piece. Was you there in the tower, wasn't it? Hey, Nero! My, you're sharper than you look. Hello there, old fellow. I recognize you. Nero, yes. Why are you following us? Who said I'm following you? Being a native of Garlemald, does it not stand to reason I might be inclined to come and see what has happened to my home? Or became of my home? I know not what you're scheming, but we've no time to entertain your games. Perhaps Master Garland would make better company for you. Spare me. I'm a man of great ambition and great intellect, far beyond the scope of anything Garland could hope to achieve. He still keeps his head in the clouds, while I would set my sights to the stars beyond. Which is why you snuck into the tower, but like us, you couldn't get past the blasphemy to reach the transporter. Yes, well, I was very much hoping you would dispense with that little obstacle. And having caught wind of your plans, curiosity compelled me to see if you were truly up to the task. Do you have any reason to believe we are not? Or perhaps does the great genius Nero mean to dispense with the blasphemy himself? Far be it from me to steal your glory, having come all this way, but as I am feeling generous, I will tell you what I learned during my time in the Tower of Babel. I was able to access its systems, you see, and discovered one of those dreadful spires still appears to be active. Impossible! They all vanished when Anima was destroyed. Yes, and I've heard of your escapades, reclaiming the remains of the Emperor, but obviously you failed to reclaim his entire body. As it stands, a piece remains powering a tower at Fabrica. Ah, yes, the manufacturing district just north of the erstwhile Imperial Palace. A rather impressive feat, considering how these lands are so utterly devoid of ether, barely enough to sustain life, let alone the spire. But if one were to use Varus's remains to forcibly create a confluence of sorts... Precisely, and from what I gleaned of the tower's systems, his heart serves as its core. Cursing not with blood, but your precious ether, and now Nerva has amassed a surfeit to shore up his defenses. How fortuitous he should find so perfect an impetus for a design, stolen from better minds than his own. How very like him. Oh, did I say that aloud? You'll forgive me if I fail to show concern for your ire. Wow. Yeah, Nero. If what you say is true, these lands could never hope to recover from such a paucity of live energies. We must hurry and find Varus's heart, to both spare the land this wanton harvesting, and deny the blasphemy the source of its protection. Are we to presume you have any intention of aiding us? As I said, I have no intention of stealing your glory, though I fear victory may soon slip through your fingers if you do not act quickly. The Tower of Babel was designed specifically for Anima to serve as its core. Nerva forcing himself upon the system has caused it to grow increasingly unstable. If my calculations are correct, they always are, it will not be long before its presence triggers a system meltdown. The resulting explosion will destroy whatever teeniest streams of ether breathe life into the lands of Garlemald. But more importantly, we will lose our only means of reaching the moon. The heavens forever denied my genius. How so very unfortunate. Anyway, in any event, it would seem time is of the essence. It's all well and good, but even if we know which district to search, finding the heart will be looking for a needle in a bloody haystack. Actually, I may know where we can start. It's all rather hazy, but I still have vague recollection of my time serving Anima when I was enthralled. We were commanded to erect some manner of facility tucked away in a corner of Fabrica. I remember not what it was for, but it's as good a place as any to begin our search. Certainly sounds promising, but surely this facility will be heavily guarded. And maybe it would be for the best to divide our forces. If it's just the four of us, shouldn't prove too difficult to sneak inside and find the heart. Meanwhile, our main force can stand ready to storm the Tower of Babel when the barrier gives out. Leave it to us. This is Levelier. And this is Thancred. What? Very well, we shall return at once. A number of Guardians have left camp for the Tower of Babel. They have somehow misunderstood the threat of the tower and convinced themselves that Nerva has taken refuge there. Still clinging to their ill-placed patriotism, no doubt. They could not have gone far if we act quickly. Perhaps they can be found before they come to harm. A wise man would not waste his time on a few wayward refugees. I thought you, Charlie scholars, knew better. To ignore the plight of those, one might conceivably say if it's not wisdom, sir, it is indolence. If it's all the same to you, Laverne, I will join you. I'll return to camp and begin preparations for our assault on the tower. And I suppose I should go as well. Though I am unarmed, I promise not to be a burden. That said, it would behoove us to avoid any undue confrontations if possible. Now then, let us be off. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Can I? And this is the question now. Boop. Yeah! Oh, this is so good. I love it. We've no time to lose. If they should reach the tower, there's no telling what may happen to them. No trace of them. Let us keep searching. Help! Someone, please! Do you hear that? It came from over there. I guess up there. That Let's go on this. Okay. Done and done. Just thanking that person for their help. They understandably shaken, but otherwise appear to be unharmed. Good. You're the ones who came to speak with us before. We heard Lord Nerva had returned and was assembling his forces in the tower, but... No! Not no, Lord Nerva, too. And there really is nothing left for us. I'll not deny your situation is dire, but you're not without a path forward. I believe you have passion and conviction needed to rebuild Garlemald, if you so choose. Or, failing that, you could begin life anew in Sharlayan. Rebuild Garlemald? No, there's no point in entertaining so lofty a dream, and we would sooner die than suffer life under the rule of another. You would sooner seek death than sanctuary. Your resolve is admirable, but sorely misplaced. If you would not see Garlemald arise from the snow and ashes here in Ilsebard, might you consider venturing into a new frontier? A new frontier? And where exactly is this land ripe for exploration? There, on the moon. It is your goal to create a repository of man's knowledge there, free from the jurisdiction of any nation. As I understand, the magic and technological advancements of Garlemald were without peer. Your expertise would be indispensable in the endeavor, should you be willing, of course. You really expect us to go and live on the bloody moon? Is such a thing even possible? Have you a better alternative? Lest you forget, Garlemald did not rise to conjure from complacency in the present of rumination in the past. We live for the future. It is in our blood. Life is not without its hardships, of course. Even I have met with the occasional stumbling block. But even should I stumble, my eyes are forever fixed skyward, seeking ever greater heights. The Empire may be lost, but I still possess a great deal of knowledge gained from it, and a desire to seek more. The very notion of exploring the moon is an unprecedented prospect, and that you would balk at the proposition boggles the mind. Consider this, you have heard that beasts of the final days were born of those hapless souls that had given up on everything, yes? If that is indeed the case, can you tell me why you still stand before me? Because deep down you believe your life is yet worth living. Deep down you long to reach for the unreachable. Or perhaps you don't. If you should choose to lay down and die here in the snow, that's none of my concern. Reach for the unreachable? That sounds like something I would have said back in at the academy. Alright, we'll go. I suppose it's better than dying here in the snow, as you so grimly put it. And we must first dispense with the blasphemy that commands the tower. It's hard to believe Lord Nerva, of all people, could be turned into one of those monsters. Please, you must stop him. Put his soul to rest. Thank you, and sorry for causing all this trouble. Bye. Thank you for the rousing call to action, but I thought you had no interest in meddling in our affairs. Lest you misunderstand, I abhor the idea of my countrymen blindly following nobles they know next to nothing about. Besides, it would be a most piteous sight for not a single Gallian to be among those venturing to the moon. Who else am I to prevail upon to learn of new findings up there? Oh. I don't want any of these. Why are you giving me trash material, game? I told myself I would not get overly involved, but yet here I am. Forlorn glory. For what Nero has told us, time is now a luxury we can ill afford. Let us return to Cap Broken Glass, if only for the moment. The others are no doubt finishing their preparations for battle. Okay, let's go. I should hope the other's absence means all proceeds apace. Good, you're here. With the recent arrival of your reinforcements, our preparations are all but complete. Yay, here he is. Apologies for our lateness. It seems we are at least in time to help deliver the crushing blow. Aye, and if the fates are kind, this will be the last we see of these damnable blasphemies. Commander Alden, Lord Hien, thank you both for coming. Yes, of course. Understood. Lawrence and the others have reclaimed Varys' heart. The barrier protecting the blasphemy should soon dissipate. Then the time has come at last to storm the Tower of Babel. Again, for me, in my case. Admiral Merwip and Lord Emmerich await our arrival at its base. Then we should be about it, eh? I suppose this is as good an opportunity as any to keep my hammer from rusting over. I will accompany you as well. As the From's representative and a member of the survey team, I feel it my responsibility to see this through to the end. I didn't take you for the I mean, we knew that he had been fighting. So, are you sure you wouldn't rather wait here? Despite appearances, I am no stranger to the battlefield. Indeed, I have seen my fair share, traveling the world in service to the Forum. Oh, we know, but your weapons are not here. Though I may not be equal to Though I may not be the equal of Alphino or Alizé, we shall not find ourselves wanting, I can promise you that much. Aww. At least he accepts that his children are far better than him. When you have all finished your preparations, we shall reconvene at the Enceladium. Any NPCs around? Nope. Fine, let's go. Now this is how you should see the Tower of Babel at night in all its ominous glory. And here we are. And he is armed. I wonder where he got these from. Guess we shall find out soon. All are present and accounted for. Shall we proceed? Your progress through the battle will be saved at certain points. In the event that you are defeated, you will be able to try again from the most recent of these. Please note that if you enter battles associated with other quests or log out from the game, this progress will be lost. Let's go. Our objective is simple. Locate and eliminate the blasphemy, Nova. While the barrier guarding him is no more, a number of beasts will surely block the way at the auxiliary sector. Speaking of which... off to a smashing start, I see. It will seem the tower will reach its limits sooner than I anticipated. So your calculations were wrong? If we are to save the transporter, we must hurry and find Nova. Now! So, our party is... let's go through it. A machinist? Alright, so... we have a hammer guy. Should go without saying, but stay on your guard. There was quite a menagerie of horrors when last I was here. Onwards! Okay. They're upon us! To arms! Come to me, my enemies. Come to me. Why is everyone thinking harder than me? That's unfair. Wait, but I shall hold them off. Press on, my friends. Alright.
The path has been revealed.
The winds favor us.
Well, let's go. I wish I could just run as well.
Down with you.
Like, I literally have tank stance on, and I have aggro of one enemy. Because Nero and Tien are just smashing it too hard. You shall hold the line here. When you see an opening, take it, and do not look back. Alright. Iron Nero. Never did make things easy. Let's get this over with. More coming. Stay sharp. Okay. You have 20 seconds to give me an enemy, please. Thank you. So Rolban is using Paladin abilities, or Gladiator, which makes sense. Fortunate, obviously, there's no end to them. Fortunate, obviously, being a sage. Nero... Let's have a look at his... I would say he comes closest to a warrior. Obviously, kind of. Well, again, he just swings his hammer. Hien being clearly a samurai. Where are you going? Okay. Gather around, my friends. Gather around. One sword. Two swords. Three swords. Oh, hello there. I will see to the rebel. You focus on the large one there. Okay.
Raw Tizona!
War to Sona.
Enough!
We have 17 seconds. 15. We should be fine, I guess. Four. Alright, we did it. Part 1 done, I assume. This should be checkpoint 1, I assume. Is that the last of them? Shouldn't have asked, Robon. Of course not. We can't afford for them to impede our advance any further. Come on, Alden. Let us hold them here. Master Fortunate, take the others and go. Quickly. Understood. Hello. Blasphemy, Nova, yea, Galvus. Leave. Leave now. Garlemald is mine. Mine! Same monster type as in the Amaro dungeon. This ends here, Nova, for Garlemald, her people, and shoot all who call this star home. Blasphemy or no, I will not suffer anyone who gets in my way. For glory, everlasting, for Garlemald! Can I move you a little bit over? Thank you. Oh. Oh, that lasts a long, long while. Oh, sweet. Okay. Bravest Ego. Exhausted Ego. Hold on, Laverne. Aww, I got rescued. That's good. We must take the offense. Well, thanks. Ego's errors. Rise, my faithful. For Garlemald. Shadowrick sounds like an AoE to me. And it was. Fractured Ego. Okay, Shadowrick. I've screwed up my rotation so much, so just don't pay any attention to any of that, please. Okay. Oh, come on. Whoa. Nice. gods be good. Whew. We've come too far to give up now. Well, let's put an end to this, shall we? We mustn't yield. Not now. That was anticlimactic. Somehow. I like his technique. For glory, everlasting indeed. Is it over? Has the danger passed? By a hair's breadth, perhaps, but yes. I'd say we've managed to avoid a fiery ruin. Fury? Our path to the moon is open once more. The duty of Sharlayan has ever been to chart the course of history, not to change it. Thus, we fervently hold to our policies of neutrality and non-intervention. In truth, it was all in service to our plans of exodus, to abandon the star to its ruinous fate. Harsh though it may sound, I still believe it was ultimately for the greater good. Thanks to you and your comrades, however, it was a fate that did not come to pass. Sharlayan will now find a new way forward, not merely for the preservation of knowledge, but for the betterment of the star and all who call it home. Yay! I believe I speak for all of the forum when I say, I mean, you are literally the speaker of the forum. It would be an honor and a privilege to work towards such a goal alongside the allied nations. Aye, an age of true and everlasting peace is finally within our grasp, and we will seize it together. Speak with Fortunal again. But first, let's speak with Nira. As much as I would enjoy a riveting conversation with the Orzias champion, I really must make ready for the moon. Now, if you'll excuse me. It's a relief to know we've no longer a need for battle. Despite my experience, I must confess I am ill-suited to it. The allied nation leaders, meanwhile, demonstrated an aptitude for combat far above what I might expect from diplomatic figures. And you, my friend, I see now why you are so well regarded as the Orzias champion. Oh yeah. The others have already begun the arduous journey home, but before you go, I would offer a word of thanks to the both of you. If not for your timely assistance, our plans would be forfeits. The lands of Ilsabard forever defiled by the blasphemy. Please, I've no need for your platitudes. I labor only to further my own ends, nothing more. At least he is honest, you know. We heard the news. Thank you for everything. With Lord Nerva laid to rest, we've the peace of mind to move on without regret. Hi there. There you are. Now, what's this I've heard about you cleaning out the Tower of Babel? Are we finally ready to return to the moon? Ah, what fortuitous timing. Allow me to introduce you to Livingway of the Loporits, moon dweller and overseer of the survey team. Livingway, these good people will be the moon's first residents. I trust you and the other Loporits will take good care of them. Pleased to meet you. Residents? Oh no! I mean, oh yes, splendid! After many, many long years of planning and preparations, the moon is absolutely, most definitely ready to accommodate your stay. Oh, they will have carrots for days and years and lifetimes. Glad to hear it. And apologies for the delay. I must first confer with Lawrence and see to our final preparations. But your residence to be and the survey team shall be along ere long. Might I trouble you to relay word of our success to Shirabat and Rasatan? I should think the tidings all the more heartening coming from you. Until next we meet. Wait, you're not leaving for the moon without me? Shirabat, hello. So it's true then, the blasphemy in Golemalt has been struck down? They were right to call on you, it seems. With no other outstanding reports of blasphemy sightings, I dare say you've slain the last of them. Perhaps now we can finally start to put the final days behind us. Strange though, that may sound. On behalf of my fellow delegates and the Radiant host, I extend to you our humble thanks. I hope when next I call on you, it will be under more fortuitous circumstances. I take... Sure, please.